Hi, my name is Shay McClellan, and I will be presenting to you on the fiscal responsibilities of school principals. Just a little bit about me. I am a parent of 4 children. I've adopted 4 children. My youngest one is 17. He's a junior in high school. My other 3 are grown, with the youngest one being 21, and the other 2 are adults. The 2 older boys I adopted as teenagers, and my younger 2 I adopted as infants. So it's been quite the journey. Archie is my therapy dog. He comes to work with me every day and works with the students here at school. He's probably the most popular person here at school, and everybody just loves him. And as for me, I just like to have a little fun with family and friends, and I love to learn. Education is important to me. I've took the route of earning my bachelor's degree and master's degree in social work from Washburn University. I then later went on to earn a second master's degree in school counseling from Kansas State University, and now I'm currently working on yet another master's in building leadership from Fort Hays. Prior to my time in the school district, I worked in child welfare. Since coming to the school district, I've spent all my time at Junction City Middle School. I've been here for over 15 years. The first 7 years I worked as a school social worker, and the last 8 years I have been a school counselor. My next goal is to be a building administrator eventually. I'm not sure when or where, but somewhere down the line I would like to give it a shot. So this lesson we learned about was just learning more about budgeting and the principal's involvement with school budgeting. There are several types of budgeting. There's centralized budget. This is where a small group of district people make the budget, they make the decisions, and then allocate it down to the schools. This is probably the most common type of budget that you see in school districts. There's also the decentralized budget. This is where the decisions are more spread out, giving more power to the principals, and giving more ownership and input to the teachers also. This is where a lot of districts and principals would like to see the move in the future, although we're not there yet. There's a needs-based funding. This is where it allows for highly qualified teachers for all students, and funding is based on school performance incentives. So getting the money where it needs to be so that we can get the services to increase the performance of all students. And then there's the student-based budgeting. This is where budget's based on the funding's based on the enrollment of the students and their needs. You know, if they're low income, if they're ELL, they have special needs, what programs they're involved in, that depends on what type of budgeting they get, because all those programs cost money for them to be involved in. Oops. Whoa, a little trigger happy here. Let me get back to where we were. Sorry, in the wrong direction. One second here. All right, I apologize for that. Let's get back to where we were. So, students and adult success and well-being. So for students, the more funding you get, the more allocations that the finances can improve the condition and improve the outcomes. So if you're able to put more resources into the students, for teachers, for support staff, for programs, for better programs, for more equipment, to increase the number of teachers, to lower the classroom student to teacher ratio, all that, the more funding you have, the better outcome you're going to get from the students. So that's definitely Where you're going to see the students benefit is to put the resources into the students directly. For teachers, we're going to see the benefit to have highly qualified teachers for all students. That's going to improve the academic performance and increase the graduation rate. Staff entitlement funds, this is what pays the salaries for the teachers. Principals are in charge to make sure that the teacher salaries are in line with what the levels are set by the Department of Education, and that the teachers comply with the Department of Education, the terms that they set for that. Data, information, decisions. So 48% of the school budget comes from the state, 44% of the budget comes from local resources, and then the federal funding goes directly to the schools. So the principals are the ones that can provide the data and the input, what needs of the and what the needs of the students are in each of the schools. So it's really important for the principals to be involved in the budget at whatever level that the district's allowing them to be. They might not be in charge of the budget, but for them to have the data to provide to the district to show what the needs are of the school, what the successes of the school, what improvements they've made, and to brag on their students, to brag on their teachers, where they're going, what they've done with the budget that they've had, to show the success, but then also to show the needs and what they need. What's the importance of the principal involvement with the budget? Principals know what's best for the students by giving them the autonomy of spending over decisions. So principals know what the students need in their individual school. Each school district's unique. Each school is unique. So if you give the principals some say-so in that, like I said, the involvement, the principals need to be involved in knowing and sharing what the needs are to improve the budget, to share what the needs are to improve the outcome of the school. Other funding sources are Title I. These are funds that come for low-income families and areas, money that's used to improve the academic performance of students in need. The IDEA, this is allocated money to help students with disabilities. Each state does things a little differently. Each district has unique needs for funding at the school and district levels. So that's why it's so important for the principals to be involved. What the principal's responsibility for budget. Principals lead the school to reform and define educational objectives and goals. You have to start with the goals and the objectives, and then work your way down to what resources are needed. Principals must be educated on school budget and financing to set the goals and develop the financial strategies. Principals are able to implement school-wide efforts to improve not only the academic needs, but also the social and emotional support. So are there budget allocations that can improve the social and emotional needs? Can we put more supports in place for more counselors, more social workers, more efforts towards the social and emotional needs? Because if you don't meet the social and emotional needs of your students, the academic needs are always going to struggle. So, and then also, principals have the best interests of the students in the school. However, they often have little control over the budgeting and spending. Like I said, most schools operate on the centralized budgeting, where the district office or the Board of Education makes the decisions. So it's important that the principal be as involved as they can be, showing the needs, showing the outcomes, and then advocating for their school. At my school, from what I've observed, is that we definitely have a centralized budget plan where the district and the Board of Education, they drive the budget, they oversee the budget, and they operate the budget. My principal does make some day-to-day decisions about the budgeting expenses. However, the overall budget decisions and the big ticket items are definitely made at the district level. As I reflect over this assignment, this is definitely something that this course I look forward to taking, because this is a part of the school that I have not been involved in yet. I've done the social emotional side, the special education side of things, the student side, but I have not had a lot of experience with the budgeting side. So I do look forward to taking this class and learning a lot about this piece of the behind the scenes work that goes on. This assignment allowed me to learn more about the principal's role in the school budget. It's important that the principals get the training and education needed to set the goals and to develop the financial plan. This will help me to become better prepared as a building leader, to ensure that I have the training needs to prepare a budget and strategic plan. I don't have any concerns with being in charge of the school's budget. I just believe it's important to include staff in developing the strategic plan. I definitely would, as a building leader, as a principal, I would want my staff to be involved with developing the plan and sharing their input, and then going from there. And even if I am working in a situation where the decisions are being made at the district level, I would definitely be a strong advocate for my school, developing the plan, advocating for the needs of my students, my teachers, and also bragging on what my students are doing and what my teachers are doing to be successful, and then getting our needs met in the school district to the best of my ability. So again, I look forward to learning more about this topic in this class, and I look forward to hearing from each of you and your input, and have a good evening.